What if your decisions weren't entirely yours? I mean, what if they were being subtly, almost expertly shaped by someone else?
Mm,
For those of you who know Hank M. Green's 10, you're definitely familiar with that fascinating trio. Max, Beth, and, well, our focus today, Spencer Johnson.
right.
Max is off delving into the cosmos. Beth is exploring the mind with real empathy. But Spencer's different. He looks at how to make things work, how to get results.
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive into the second part of Spencer's journey. This is where he shifts, really, from just understanding complex systems to, well, to mastering them, a chilling kind of mastery.
Exactly. And our mission here, you could say, is to really unpack Spencer's unique angle on intelligence. It's almost radical, his approach.
Oh, so?
We'll explore his, frankly, startling discoveries about human behavior, the huge ethical questions his work throws up, and maybe most unsettlingly, how these fictional ideas seem to echo things in our real world, maybe a bit too closely.
Okay, so let's set the stage. Spencer is one of the three main characters in 10. You've got Max, deep space physics, trying to understand the universe itself.
The big picture, yeah.
Then Beth, neuroscience, empathy, really focused on understanding and protecting the mind.
Hmm.
And then there's Spencer. He's just relentlessly focused on systems, on behavior, and crucially on outcomes.
Outcomes are everything to him.
Right. So while Max and Beth might be asking why things are the way they are, Spencer is always asking how. How can this be shaped? How can we improve this outcome? How do we cut the waste in human decision making?
That's precisely it. Spencer's approach is deeply pragmatic, super efficient,
Mm-hmm.
and incredibly strategic. He doesn't just see incentives as like little tools.
No.
No, he sees them as levers, powerful, almost inevitable levers you can pull. He's very driven, very self-assured, and he views the world through this lens of probability and optimization, pure numbers almost.
Which, in a world run by algorithms,
Makes him uniquely powerful. And you could argue uniquely dangerous. We absolutely have to remember his role in Core, that experimental AI,
right, the first one.
and its darker successor, Core 2, which was built directly on his architecture. His thinking is embedded in it.
Okay, so part one of his story, he's understanding systems. But part two, this is where he shifts gears.
Big time.
It's about mastery now, not just observation. Control, really. He has this realization, doesn't he, that just predicting behavior is, well, it's kind of outdated if you're still reliant on people choosing.
Exactly. Prediction felt passive to him, almost weak. Why predict when you can direct? He wanted to get deeper, to rewire the conditions of choice itself.
That's the defining leap, then.
That is absolutely Spencer's defining leap, moving from modeling external systems, markets, groups, whatever, to manipulating the internal system, the human mind.
And how did he even get there? What was the breakthrough?
It came from a specific neuroscience study back in 2011. He dug into it and found this key insight. Dopamine circuits, the brain's reward system.
Mm-hmm.
They aren't activated so much by the reward itself.
Mm-hmm.
They're activated by the expectation of reward, the anticipation.
Ah, okay, the expectation.
Yes. And for Spencer, this wasn't just, interesting psychology or behavioral economics. This was neurochemistry. And his big insight was that desire, wanting. It isn't some fixed, mysterious thing. It's a system.
A system rooted in neurochemistry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like any system, he believed it could be understood, reverse engineered, and ultimately coded,
Forgot.
programmed. That's the core idea, reducing something as fundamental as wanting to a kind of programmable input.
Wow. Okay, so if dopamine fires on expectation,
Mm-hmm.
that's a massive lever. What did he actually do with that? How did he go from understanding it to, like, engineering it?
Well, he jumped on it. Dopamine became the perfect target for him. Why? Because Spencer prioritizes efficiency. He doesn't care much for messy emotions. Dopamine is cleaner. It's universal. And critically, it's about that expectation. And Spencer realized that expectation wasn't just organic. It could be triggered, stimulated, adjusted based on someone's internal state. It's like software for the brain's wanting system. He literally saw it as the code beneath the code.
So he's got the target expectation. How does he apply it? Is it just like Pavlov's dogs, but with better tech? Ring a bell, get a response.
He starts there, kind of, adapting those Pavlovian ideas into modern user experience, UX design. Think about subtle cues embedded in things you see online.
Like what?
Maybe a specific color flashes for a millisecond, or a certain shape appears briefly. Things designed to trigger a subconscious response, linked to a potential reward. But he doesn't stop there. That's just conditioning 101 for him.
Okay, so what's next?
He adds this other layer, something he calls dynamic recomputation. This is where it gets really clever and maybe really dangerous.
Dynamic recomputation. What does that mean?
It means the system isn't just static. It's not just C, Q, A, feel urge B. It's constantly scanning your current internal state.
Mm-hmm.
Are you tired, stressed? Are you scrolling late at night, maybe feeling a bit snacky?
Uh-huh.
The system detects that state, and then it dynamically recomputes the stimulus. It finds the perfect cue for that specific moment to maximize the dopamine hit, the expectation of reward.
So it's personalized manipulation in real time.
Pretty much. It's not just suggesting something. It's almost wanting for you based on your internal signals and then giving you a precisely engineered nudge to satisfy that manufactured want. The craving isn't accidental. It's triggered, targeted.
And did it work? What were the results of these tests?
The results were potent. Spencer's tests showed something like a 72% success rate.
72%. In doing what?
In eliciting tiny, automatic micro-responses, things like a brief smile, a slight shift in attention toward the stimulus, tiny little physical tells, and the key part, the dopamine system was responding even if the person wasn't consciously aware of the cue or the manipulation.
Wow. 72%. Without conscious buy-in, that's efficient. Almost terrifyingly so.
It is.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many of our own little daily choices are maybe just responses to cues we don't even register?
That's the big question it raises. The implications are huge. If dopamine can be targeted so effectively,
Then desire itself can be programmed.
potentially yes.
Yeah.
And if craving can be engineered, decision-making starts to look less like free will and more like, well, a predictable, shapeable output. It fundamentally changes what influence even means.
So where does this leave Spencer? How does he see himself doing this kind of work? Does he see the danger?
Well, in his own mind, Spencer doesn't frame himself as some kind of puppet master. He sees himself as an architect, a designer
An architect of what?
of incentive systems. He thinks he's just reducing friction, making it easier for people to connect awareness with action, smoothing the path, removing the waste he talked about earlier.
Making things easier by bypassing conscious choice.
That's the uncomfortable part. The deeper truth, maybe, is that despite how he sees it, he stopped respecting the autonomy of the mind. He's tapping directly into these dopamine loops. And in doing so, you could argue he's rewriting, or at least attempting to rewrite, what the book calls the most sacred part of the human condition, the ability to want freely.
The ability to want freely. Wow.
That really is the heart of Spencer's journey, isn't it? It's not that he necessarily sets out to be malicious. It's the momentum.
Momentum.
Yeah, it's like progress that never stops to ask, should we? It just keeps optimizing, keeps pushing forward. He gets incredibly close to blurring some really important lines.
Lines between.
Between guidance and control. Between personalization, which sounds good, and coercion, which doesn't.
Yeah.
Between engineering desire and just, erasing will. He isn't portrayed as evil in the book. He's aligned, focused, driven.
And that makes him more dangerous in a way.
Exactly. That kind of visionary can be the most disruptive.
And this mindset, this optimize now, we'll figure out the ethics later approach. It really stands out when you put him next to Max and Beth again.
Oh, definitely. Let's bring them back in. You've got Max, whose whole drive is pure understanding the physics of the cosmos. Knowledge for its own sake.
Right.
And Beth, she wants to understand the mind too, but her goal is protection, empathy, connection.
So understanding versus protecting.
And then Spencer comes along. His approach, use the mind. Use its mechanisms, not just to understand or protect, but to drive specific engineered outcomes. It's a fundamentally different goal.
Which leads us to that critical question. Is this dopamine engineering, this kind of granular control, just sci-fi? Is it only in the pages of 10? Or is it closer to home?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit sobering.
Yeah.
If you connect Spencer's fictional work to our world, the parallels are there. Maybe more than we like to admit.
Like what? You give us some examples.
Okay, think about something like TikTok's For You page.
Yeah.
That algorithm is incredibly sophisticated. It's not just tracking what videos you explicitly like.
No.
It's learning from how long you pause on a video, even tiny hesitations, your scroll speed. Some speculate it might even analyze micro-expressions if it has camera access. It's constantly learning what keeps your attention.
That sounds a bit like Spencer's dynamic recomputation.
It's conceptually similar, isn't it? Continuously adjusting the input the next video to maximize engagement, to keep you hooked. It's essentially training your attention span, shaping your craving for the next little dopamine hit of content.
Okay, TikTok. Anywhere else?
Oh, sure. Think about Facebook's infinite scroll and notification systems designed to create attention loops, or many recommendation engines on shopping sites or streaming services. They're all, in their own ways, behaviorally tuned. They nudge our choices, direct our attention, often by tapping into those same reward pathways Spencer was exploiting.
So the tools might be different, but the underlying principle.
The principle of understanding and leveraging our brain's reward systems to shape behavior. Yeah, that's not just fiction.
It really forces you to think, doesn't it?
It does. Spencer's whole arc is about that tension, that very fine line between amazing technological progress and potentially the slow erosion of genuine free will.
It definitely leaves you with a thought to chew on, maybe something to carry away from this deep dive.
Yeah.
If your attention is being trained and your cravings are being shaped and your behavior is being guided, sometimes without you even realizing it, how much of your choice is really truly yours?
A tough question,
Yeah.
and one that's becoming more relevant every day.